Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. On the 18th of August 2023, I made a video regarding a big development. The Western media does not like to mention that much, but now they have to because it grows, and when it grows, they have to take note. They notice it, and not only do they notice it, they can't ignore it for long. So what happened? You remember Russia got out of the Black Sea grain agreement with Ukraine, Turkey, and United Nations, blah, blah, blah. Why? They said our part of the deal was not fulfilled by you guys. So we're out. And now Russia is building its own grain deliveries, global, with the help of Qatar and Turkey. I cover that in this article on the 18th, right here. Russia, Turkey, and Qatar form trilateral grain deal, bypass Ukraine and West, feed the world. That's what they will do. Now we have another partner. Over there they said that Qatar will provide, I think, the funding, the resources, and Turkey the logistics, which is probably the tankers. And Russia will provide grain and the security in the Black Sea. Now another country joins the whole thing. Guess who that country is? I already, I think, mentioned it in the title if I didn't. And that is, of course, Hungary. And they exclude Ukraine. So they're going to have, as I said many times before, a parallel world. They say a multipolar world. Well, it's going to be a parallel world that will function using its own institutions, global, world institutions, international institutions. Like the Americans have theirs, other countries have theirs, these guys are going to have their own. And United Nations will be something like a little bit of ignored referee or arbiter. So let's see, this little article that I have here comes from the Telegraph, actually, initially, but I use other sources to get it. The Telegraph. Senior Russian official in talks on Black Sea grain deal that would exclude Ukraine. Who this? Who this? This is the mighty Prime Minister of Hungary. Great nation of Hungary, I have to say now. Not that I didn't say that before, but it's just they seem to want to be independent and they follow their own interest, which any country does, but some are allowed to, some aren't allowed to. So here, look at this guy. You don't want to meet this guy somewhere in the dark alley. That's my assessment so far, but anyway. So the most senior Russian official to visit the European Union since the war began is holding talks in Hungary over a potential new Black Sea grain deal that excludes Ukraine. So, Russian Minikanov, that's the guy that, Minikanov, the head of Russia's Tatarstan from Tatarstan region, okay, now it makes sense, supports Russia's invasion of Ukraine and is sanctioned by the US but not the EU. And I'm quoting, arrived today at my invitation of Hungarian Prime Minister Viktor Orban to Budapest, end quote. Mr. Minikanov wrote, and I'm quoting, we talked with Mr. Prime Minister about the contribution Tatarstan makes to strengthening Russian-Hungarian relations, end quote. Mr. Minikanov is reportedly pushing to sign a deal with Qatar and Turkey that will accelerate grain exports to Africa. A UN negotiated deal that allowed grain exports from Ukraine broke down in July. Vladimir Putin has said Russia can cover the shortfall in exports to Africa, and under the potential Budapest deal, it will use Turkey as the main operator of cargo and Qatar as the financial guarantors. Money, 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 money. Ukrainian officials have said any grain deal that excludes Kiev will encourage Russia to steal more grain from areas of Ukraine that it occupies. Well, could be. Mr. Orban has pushed back against EU sanctions against Russia and is seen as a weak link in the West that the Kremlin may look to exploit. He is the only EU leader to visit Moscow during the war, traveling to the funeral of former Soviet leader Mikhail Gorbachev. Hungary still buys Russian gas. Oh, that's a sin. And its companies have said they want to boost business in Russia. It has Turkish roots and has been looking to boost relations with Turkic countries and regions such as Tatarstan. Now, we have a little problem here. Have you ever heard about the Finno-Ugric countries or nations or tribes? Finland, Ugric. Okay, those are related. Their language is Finno-Ugric, which is the language of Finland, is related to the language of Hungary. They are not Indo-European languages. They came from far, far away, further than the Indo-Europeans, okay? So they are really much connected, but they mention here only the Turkic connection, saying, oh, it's all related by that kind of ethnic bound. Well, then they probably would be with the Finns as well, shouldn't they? They're related in language. Well, anyway, just a little thing that the Telegraph thinks that we don't know. But see how they make a point, they try to make a point by ignoring others. So the point is, little point, Hungary, Turkic, Turkey, and then Tatarstan. Oh, the same kind of thing. What about Finland? Why don't you take the former Prime Minister of Finland, the little tiny dancer? Remember her? I do remember her. You remember the 38-year-old Prime Minister that was twerking or whatever she was doing on camera, and she thought that it was acceptable for behavior for a prime minister? Well, you can do that, but make sure that doesn't trickle down to us to see, oh, geez. And she thought that she's very, very young. And okay, 38. All right. Anyway, it's based on preferences. Let's put it this way. So Mr. Orban is also hosting. So let me read this again. So Hungary still buys Russian gas, and its companies have said they want to boost business in Russia. And then you have over there a dot, pick, and it says it has Turkic roots, it meaning Hungary, and has been looking to boost relations with Turkic countries and regions as Tatarstan. What about Finland? That destroys the whole point, the whole bullshit argument. That's what it is. Mr. Orban is also hosting leaders from Turkic countries of the weekend as the country stages the World Athletics Championship. Okay, well, it's like, for instance, Romania would get, let's say, the Latin countries involved. All right, well, Romania, you have Spain, you have Italy, right? I don't want to ignore Portugal. You can have Latin countries, but let's say they don't mention a country that will destroy the whole narrative here. Germany's Bild newspaper has reported that Erdogan, the Turkish president, and Sheikh Tamim bin Hamad Al Thani, the leader of Qatar, were also due in Budapest on Sunday and may sign the new grain deal with Mr. Minikanov, oh my God, who is effectively acting as Putin's envoy. Check. Mate. Like other regional governors, Mr. Minikanov owes his position to Putin's, okay, now patronage. So, okay, they're buddies, that's why. In the United States doesn't work that way. No, the United States doesn't work that way. Why don't you see how this, how do you call it, Jack, and that weasel advisor, it escapes his name, or not even Jake, the one that went to Saudi Arabia and Mohammed bin Salman slapped him, remember? Figuratively, whatever, slapped him saying, don't you ever mention Khashoggi's name in my presence, got it? Poked him in his eye. So here is, my friends, bad mistake for not a good mistake, but a bad one for the West, unfortunately, and we are in the West. Why? Because these guys are going to cut in half production that otherwise would have come to us. It goes in different directions. That means the price for bread and other stuff like that will increase, and that's not okay. Just increase. I can do it like this, and this is not like northeast winds coming. Here is, my friends. Yes, they will get friends with their Turkic friends like Russia. Can make shit up, man. Anyway, they make each and every little point to make, a little thing to make a point that is really not there. Pretty soon, I think we're going to have Orban portrayed as he's already a nationalist, but portrayed as and so on. And there's nothing wrong to love your nation. I mean, that's your first duty for your country, to love your nation, your family, your tribe. And then, it doesn't mean that loving your tribe, you hate other tribes, but that's how the story goes here. Don't fall for that bullshit. If I like, let's say, this kind of glasses, I don't even know, Flexor, I think they're called. If I like these ones, doesn't mean that I hate the Carrera or other ones. No, that doesn't work that way. But these guys try to twist it and turn it. Oh, he's with the Turkic friends. Oh my God, he might be a... Anyway, thank you very much for being with me again today. That would have implications, big implications on the food market, grain market. You'll see, unless, these guys are gonna bomb Budapest or something. Oh my, I don't even know how the current government in Hungary still stands. I don't even know how. Really, I don't know. These guys should have been kicked out by those guys in no time, and they become more independent and sovereign, as they should be. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.